Hello and welcome back to Just a Conversation. I'm your host, Montrell. Have you ever found yourself overthinking the next step, stuck in analysis paralysis, or waiting for everything to feel just right before making a move? We've all experienced that perfect moment rarely arrives. Growth, success, and alignment happen when you take action, even when you don't have all the answers. And more often than not, the guidance you're looking for is already within you. Those quiet whispers guiding you forward. Today, we're talking about the power of saying yes before you see the full path. It's trusting yourself and following that inner knowing that's been calling you toward something greater. If you've been hesitating on a decision or feeling stuck between what's comfortable and what's calling you, this is your episode. Let's talk about waiting for certainty. How often have you said, I'll move forward when I have more clarity? I just need a little more time to be sure. Or what if I make the wrong choice? We get caught up in these thoughts because we want to control the outcome. We want to guarantee that everything will work out. But faith doesn't work like that, neither does growth. If you look back at the most defining moments of your life, how many of them came with a clear, detailed roadmap? Probably not many, if any at all. Most likely, the breakthrough happened after you took the first step, not before. And the same is true for the decision you may be facing now. We often seek signs outside of ourselves, confirmation from other people, circumstances lining up perfectly, or waiting for a major life event to push us forward. But the truth is, real guidance usually comes from within. You know, those moments where you feel a deep, undeniable nudge, where something in your spirit is urging you forward, telling you this is the way. Those moments are when the heavens above are speaking. The challenge isn't hearing that voice, it's trusting it. When doubts and critical whispers invade the mind, recognize them for what they are: your internal guidance system nudging you toward alignment, pulling you out of your comfort zone. That moment of hesitation, that's just fear trying to keep you stagnant. What would happen if instead of waiting for external validation, you simply said yes to what you already know deep down? Saying yes before you see the full path is an act of faith. It's a declaration that you trust the heavenly guidance and that you trust yourself enough to take the next step, even without knowing every detail of the journey ahead. Most of the time, we resist that yes because of fear of failure, judgment, stepping into the unknown, and fear of losing the illusion of control. But what if fear wasn't a sign to stop? What if fear was actually confirmation that you're moving towards something bigger than yourself? If the path ahead was completely predictable, would it really require faith? Would it really lead to transformation? The most powerful shifts in life happen when we lean into the unknown, trust ourselves, and take action despite the fear. I know firsthand how hard it is to take a step when you don't have all the details. I've been there, hesitating, questioning, wondering. But one experience in particular taught me that when you follow the whispers from the heavens, alignment happens in ways you cannot predict. A few years ago, during a season of transition, I woke up one morning and I heard so vividly, start packing. At the time, I was living in a temporary space with no other plans, work, or places lined up. So imagine my hesitation. I laid there for a moment and I heard it again, start packing. As I lay there, I asked aloud, I said, "Where am I going?" The response was stern: "Get up and start packing." Now, I had two choices: ignore the voice and stay where I was, comfortable, safe, but stagnant, or trust the unseen, the unknown, and move forward without a plan. It wasn't easy, but it was easy. Nervous, lost, and on the verge of tears, I started packing my car. I made 3 trips back and forth to the car. Then my phone rang. It was someone I had spoken about before, the 888 story in one of the episodes. She asked, "What are you doing?" I said, "Packing." She says, "You're leaving?" I said, "Yes." She says, "Where are you going?" I told her, I don't know. She then said, "I have someone who needs help and they will give you a room." Without hesitation, I said, "Okay, send me the address." When I arrived, the person needing the help began to tell me where she needed it. She was stuck setting up her business and then trying to set up a podcast. As I guided her through what steps she needed to take, I created a system to help keep her on track. Then, as I'm doing that, she begins to tell me about a collaboration she was on. She was collaborating with writing a book and she needed some guidance. So I then began to give her guidance on that. Had I ignored that whisper, I wouldn't have met someone who needed my help at that moment. I wouldn't have been part of her journey, and I wouldn't have witnessed the power of surrendering to the unknown. My assignment, because make no mistake, that's what's been happening in my life. I've been on assignment. When that assignment was done, she began her business, produced her podcast. She collaborated and co wrote on this best selling book. Once my assignment was completed, I returned back to where it started, where I laid there and heard, "Start packing." No certainty, no clear outcome, just trust. Trust in myself, trust in the process, trust in the unseen. Had I not said yes to that early morning whisper to myself, and to the path of service, I wouldn't be here sharing this moment of alignment with you today, and could have quite possibly delayed someone else's assignment to fulfill. Right now, someone is listening, standing at a crossroads, waiting for certainty before they move. But what if your next step is waiting on you to say yes? Let me ask you, is there something you already know you need to say yes to? What's the step you've been overthinking, analyzing, and waiting on? What whispers have been nudging you forward? What has it been asking you to do? What has it shown you time and time again, and you keep ignoring it? Here's my challenge to you. This week, say yes to something before you have all the answers. Take the step and trust that the rest will unfold. I'll leave you with this. Everything you're seeking, that thing, that life you desire, is on the other side of yes. If the door is open, it's your season to experience it. Trust yourself, trust the process, and take the next step, even if you can't see the whole path. I want to thank you for spending this time with me on Just a Conversation. If today's episode resonated with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Send me a message and share this with someone who may need it. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next conversation. Until next time, have the audacity to be authentically you. I'm Montreal, and this has been Jack.